Once upon the time, in the heart of the Igbo lands, where the forests whispered ancient secrets and the rivers sang songs of old, there lay a kingdom called Ama-Ofu. It was a land of vibrant markets, fertile soil, and proud people. But beneath its beauty festered a darkness that no one dared to speak of, a darkness born from the wickedness of its ruler, King Obidike. King Obidike was a man of great power and even greater cruelty. His name, which meant one who rules with strength, had once been spoken with pride. But now, it was uttered in hushed tones, laced with fear and disgust. For the king had a vile secret, one that cast a shadow over the entire kingdom. He had an insatiable desire for virgins, and he would stop at nothing to claim them. It began subtly. A young maiden from a distant village was summoned to the palace under the guise of serving the king. She never returned. Then another. And another. The families of the girls were silenced with gold or threats, and the people of Ama-Ofu began to live in dread. The king's guards, loyal to his every command, scoured the kingdom for virgins, dragging them to the palace under the cover of night. The king's chambers were a place of nightmares, adorned with opulent fabrics and golden trinkets. They reeked of incense and despair. The virgins were brought before him, trembling and tearful, forced to submit to his will. Those who resisted were met with violence, their cries muffled by the thick walls of the palace. The king's heart, once capable of love and compassion, had turned to stone, consumed by his lust and greed for power. But the gods were watching. One fateful night, as the moon hung low and the stars burned brightly, a young woman named Adaeze was taken from her village. She was known for her beauty, but also for her sharp mind and unyielding spirit. Adaeze had heard the whispers of the king's atrocities, and she vowed that she would not be another victim. As the guards dragged her to the palace, she whispered a prayer to Allah, the earth goddess, and to her ancestors, begging for their intervention. When Adaeze was brought before King Obidike, she stood tall, her eyes blazing with defiance. The king, intrigued by her courage, smirked and approached her. "You are different," he said, his voice dripping with malice. "But you will break like the others." Adaeze met his gaze and spoke with a voice as steady as the ancient Iroko tree. "You may take my body, but you will never break my spirit. The gods see your wickedness, and they will judge you." Her words struck a chord deep within the king, but his pride would not let him falter. He laughed, a hollow sound that echoed through the chamber, and reached for her. But as his hands touched her skin, a sudden chill filled the room. The torches flickered and died, plunging the chamber into darkness. A low, guttural growl reverberated through the air, and the king stumbled back, his heart pounding. From the shadows emerged a figure, tall and ethereal, her skin glowing like the moon. It was Adaeze, the earth goddess, her eyes filled with righteous fury. "King Obidike," she intoned, her voice like thunder, "your sins have reached the heavens. You have defiled the sacred, and for this, you shall be cursed." The king fell to his knees, trembling. "Mercy," he begged. "I beg of you, have mercy." But the goddess was unmoved. "From this day forth, you shall bear the mark of your wickedness. Your body will wither, and your soul will wander the earth, never finding peace. The land will reject you, and the people will rise against you." With a wave of her hand, Allah cast her judgment. The king's skin began to crack and peel, his once handsome features twisting into a grotesque mask. He screamed in agony as the curse took hold, his body crumbling to dust before Adaeze's eyes. The palace, once a symbol of power, fell into ruin. The people of Ama-Ofu, freed from the king's tyranny, rebuilt their lives and honored the memory of those who had suffered. Adaeze, hailed as a hero, became a voice for the oppressed, ensuring that the kingdom would never forget the lessons of the past. And in the depths of the forest, where the trees whispered and the rivers sang, it was said that the spirit of King Obidike wandered, forever tormented by the weight of his sins. His name became a cautionary tale, a reminder that even the mightiest ruler is not above the judgment.